So here's another potential solution to handling floods, especially in terms of the wildlife that gets impacted by it. So here's something that the state can do, or people in general. You feed wild animals once a day in areas where that are elevated, so they would be less likely to get flooded, as well as in areas that might already have, like, there's a container, let's just say, of sorts or something in which you feed them, so they are more comfortable with going inside that place, so that they are more easier to capture, or otherwise they are more easier to call on to. Maybe you could play a specific sound, really loud sound, at the time when you're feeding them, so they get that sort of, it's like a positive reinforcement, clicker training. So they're also, I wonder if it is possible. It should certainly be, because animals like to eat food, and this level of basic training should be doable for most of them. So the especially endangered one, maybe birds or wombats, those ones that burrow in the soil or whatever the case, there is lots of native wildlife that gets impacted in areas that are more prone to floods as well as forest fires. This is just a proposal that definitely needs to be researched. Will it impact the overall ecosystem or the food chain and things like that because you're artificially feeding them? It might. But will it save their lives in the long run? Absolutely yes. Especially in scenarios, I mean, I'm sure they would choose to live first instead of having millions of them die like that in the previous wildfires or scenarios like that. So yeah, you feed them in those specific areas. You feed the native wild animals and livestock, wombats or kangaroos, wallabies, such creatures, and they get more used to coming to that place every day. In case of floods, it's more easier to evacuate them and call them to those places beforehand, and then you can capture them or have them stay at that place, fence the area so that they cannot leave, and hopefully that would save their lives, or at the very least prevent enough loss of life and biodiversity that is already a major concern for Australia.